here by latent avarice himself. I came here with Gregor Vassiliev, and I knew Lizzie before I came. The others I was introduced to when I got here.
What about Charles?
Charles, why would I... Oh, the business deal. It must have slipped my mind.
Well, we all know what old age does to you, don't we?
Fancy yourself as a comedian, do you, detective? I dare say it might be a better career choice for you.
I just want to know a bit more about your personal life.
And that, Valentine, is of no concern of yours. You know your place!
Decide to kill the strangle a man with his own tie. And that man was
Montgomery.
What did you have against Leighton Ira? Was it your famous business deal? What business deal? There was no business deal, was there? The only deal in this situation was the one where Leighton took his last breath. Leighton found out about you and George's love affair. And he blackmailed you until you had nothing left, until you were living on the street. He then threatened to tell Scotland Yard. You weren't invited here tonight, though, were you? The only reason why you came here tonight is because Charles Malone insisted that you came. Otherwise, you wouldn't have. So when you got the chance, you grabbed Leighton Abbott and squeezed his tie so hard round his neck until you couldn't hear his desperate breath fight for breath.
He did it. He had it coming. He had it coming!
July the 7th, 1932. A summer's night with skies dark blue. A full moon glows, but no stars shine bright. Do you risk staying here tonight?
Yes, I'm Montgomery. That wrathful beast just could no longer contain himself after the business deal went sour. When Charles Malone came with ideas for revenge, Montgomery jumped at the chance. Their very own little business deal. But Montgomery and Malone were not the only ones that were affected. The deceitful George Twist just had to get him on the act and develop his alter ego, Gregor Bathurian. So what happened to all of them? Well, a year down the line, and a lot has changed. My darling Rosa immediately filed for divorce after being married. She moved back to Paris and lived on her own for a while. However, her husband was not going to let her lead a happy life, so he brutally got his wife to set fire to her house. She didn't get out, and her face was severely burned by the flames. She is in seclusion and won't come out for anybody. The only thing she had left was been taken away from her beauty. The seedy businessman Malone was seized at the scene by Scotland Yard and was dragged away into prison. He later convicted of accessory to murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. He has been known to scream in his sleep and draw tiny sketches of flames on the cell wall. He speaks to no one. George Twist was also arrested at the scene. He pleaded all the way to prison to be with his love, but once he had, disappeared. George was arrested for perverting the course of justice and sentenced to 10 years in prison. At present, he is said to be enjoying his time inside enormously. My wretched little sister Louisa was always concerned with one thing, money. But even after my death, when she got everything she wanted, she still wasn't happy. She had never been happy, and when I died, her guilt became too strong to bear. So she decided to take her own life, stabbed herself. She died an unhappy woman. I don't feel any sympathy for her. My wife Elizabeth, well, was secretly shipped off to Switzerland for good. She escaped murder charges and grounds of insanity, and will spend the rest of her days crying for her baby and her own true love. But neither will come, and deep down she knows it. And Monty? He was not for me. He had planned the whole thing. He perfected his art of disappearing at the right time, and no matter how hard the authorities looked for him, he was nowhere to be found. However, it is said to be seen crossing the Swiss border with the same murderous look in his eyes. Who knows? The young but sharp detective James Vannington arrived at my home full of hope and believed in his fellow man. He had left a changed person, bitter from what he had seen, and the people he had met. He had been affected by each and every one's sinful ways. This experience will stay with him forever. I am Montgomery may have committed the crime, but every one of them contributed in some way to my death. They all have God in their hands. Everyone is responsible for evil. We are all responsible for evil. We are all intertwined, and tonight these people have proved to you no sin is an island.